Lewis Hamilton and his personal milestone. He is going to become the first ever driver to reach 100 victories in Formula One. Brazil and their amazing world champions have only ever produced 106 victories between them. Hamilton is going to get 100. He came into this race as a gladiator. He finds the checkered flag as a centurion. Lewis Hamilton, it's 100 race victories. He wins the Russian Grand Prix and he retakes the championship lead.
Get in there, Lewis. That's it, mate. That's the 100. Yeah, well reacted at the end there, Lewis. Beautiful drive, mate.
Great effort, guys. Whew. That was hard work, man. It's taken us a long time to get that 100. But so grateful for all of you, for all the work back in the factory and here. Thanks so much for not giving up on me.
Well done, Lewis. Great job, man. Really well done.
Well, that's a wrap. That is a wrap. 100 race wins. Finally. Finally. I cannot believe. You got to think about it. Just like what Damon Hill said. Damon Hill says, we're never going to appreciate this until years later. Until 5 years down the line, we're going to realise how good Lewis Hamilton really is. Because at the end of the day, 100 race wins. Lewis Hamilton has got more race wins than Ayrton Senna and Frost combined.
Damn!
100 race wins. And listen, I know back in the day with the Senna day, they done like 10, 12 races a year. Now they're doing 22 to 23 races a year. So obviously, there's more chance of you to gain to get to 100. You got an easier chance to get to 100. I understand. But you got to look back, look, 100 race wins. The competition that what's been in F1 for the past 15 years. You had the Red Bull domination. Even you had the Ferrari before that. You always had the McLaren in and out. And now you got the Mercedes, but 100 race wins. What an amazing achievement by Lewis Hamilton. What an amazing achievement. He deserves everything that's coming to him. He deserves the respect from the fans, even though you're not going to get that from the fans. You're going to get the stupid fucking geeks who's been watching Formula One for 6 months, and I think because they Google it and Wikipedia it that they know something. They don't know jack shit. Jack shit. Because as soon as you start challenging them, they'll start going very standard, very simple. They know nothing about Formula One. The mum probably went down the local shop, didn't have enough money, second hand, brought a game, second hand, off some geezer down the market. They brought it home and goes, look son, it's F1 2021. And when the son looks at the game, it's F1 2013. Oh, but it'll do. They'll start playing F1 2013 and I think it's F1 2021. And then it's come on Twitch, they make a Twitch channel or they make a Twitter and they start Wikipedia and they start Googling stuff and they think they know everything but they know jack shit. Them kind of fans. And there's a majority of them out there. There is a lot of geeks like that out there that come on my Twitter, that come on my Twitch channel, come on my YouTube channels and start challenging me. Try to tell me how Formula One is. You don't need to tell me nothing about Formula One. I know my shit. And it's not arrogant, it's fact. I'm not arrogant, not at all. I see what I see, I know what I know. I do not put false information out there just to get likes or views. Very simple. I've been doing this since 2017. And I've never made up shit, not once. You can go back through all my videos with a fine tooth comb. You go through all my videos and you'll see right there that whatever I say is the truth. Facts. Very simple. I do not care about likes. If you want to, I don't care about getting the views on the video. If I get 100 views, good. If I get 10 views, still good. I've still got my points out there. And that's what matters. I've got some loyal followers out there, loyal subscribers. They've been following me for years and I appreciate them. I appreciate all of them. Then I'll get the trolls that come in my channel try and troll me, and it's very simple. There's a very simple solution for that. I see the troll, you bench him. Very simple. It's not hard. I don't give a shit. I am from this weak ass generation. I'm from a generation where I don't give a fuck. If I don't like you, do one. If I don't like you, if I see the comments, I'll bench you. Very simple. And as I see, Lewis Hamilton deserves everything that is coming to him. What an achievement by Lewis Hamilton. An amazing achievement. So Lewis Hamilton, 100 race wins. 100. He started from his McLaren days, came into Formula 1. He told Ron Dennis, I'm going to drive for you one day. He was doing his go-kart and he said to Ron Dennis, because you know what, I'm going to drive for McLaren one day. Ron Dennis gave him a chance. He came into Formula 1. On his first race, he made an impact. On his first race, in his first season, he could have won the title. He lost it by a smidgen. Just because of that time when he came into the pits and they told him to come into the pits and he didn't need to. He came into the pits, he slicked, and that was his championship over. Kimi Räikkönen won it at the last race. Kimi Räikkönen won it. And that was a shame. If he wouldn't have came into the pits and he got that DNF, he would have won that title. Very easy, very simple. But people are still not going to give him credit. They're not going to give him credit. They're going to come out and they're going to say, nah, he only got the 100 wins because he was in the best car. Yeah, right. So what you're trying to say is he was in the best car in 2013. He was in the best car in 2012. I'll go back again. He was in the best car in 2010. He was in the best car in 2011. No, he wasn't, because in that time, it was the Red Bull. So you've lost that conversation. So you can't turn around to me and says, he only done it because he had the best car. Bullshit. He done it because he's Lewis Hamilton. He is the GOAT of Formula 1. Formula 1, the GOAT. And if you don't agree with me, fuck off. Simple as that. If you do not agree with me, don't come on my channel. Don't watch. Go watch some other geek. Go watch some other geek. It's going to play to the audience. Some posh boy geek. He knows nothing about Formula 1. It says a couple of posh words that he thinks is important. Bullshit guys like that. If you want the truth, you come to my channel, Solo P1. I will tell you the truth every time. If you don't like it, like I told you, fuck off. Very simple. But 100 wins by Lewis Hamilton. What a great achievement. What a great achievement. Yeah, that was a great achievement by Lewis Hamilton. Them same people that are criticising Lewis, they can't help themselves. They're criticising me because he's black, or they just don't like him. Them same idiots who knows nothing about Formula 1. They're the same guys that are going to come out and they're going to turn around and say, in a couple of years, Lewis, what a great driver after he's retired. I'll guarantee. There he goes again. There's with his team at the end. Lewis P1. LH 100. There's his team. There's him passing the line P1, LH 100. Absolutely amazing. I would have loved to have been there to witness history. There you go. There's all his achievements, his championship. 2008, 14, 15, 20, 19, 18, 17. You got his pole there. The king of the poles. He's the king of the poles. King of the race wins. And in my opinion, I think he's going to get his 8th world title. There's it from BBC Sport there. There you go. You just can't argue with that. You can hate as much as you want. You can turn around and say Lewis Hamilton's a fucking prick. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. But at the end of the day, you can't deny the fact that Lewis Hamilton is Lewis Hamilton and he's the GOAT. You will respect the GOAT. And the GOAT is, in Formula 1, is Lewis Hamilton. Very simple. I was supposed to do it on a Sunday, but I was really busy on Sunday. I had to get some stuff sorted for the weekday, and I said to myself, I put it on Twitter that I'm going to be doing my video on Wednesday. Some guy come on my Twitch channel yesterday, one of my fans, one of my followers, one of my subscribers, he follows me on Twitch. He subscribed to me on YouTube. He's a loyal listener. He says to me, when you're doing your video, I said to him, I'm doing it today. I promised him that I'm going to do it today, and now I'm doing it now. So I want to put that out there. But what I'm saying is, I've done my qualifying video the other day on the Sunday, on the Saturday. I've done my qualifying video on the Saturday, and I still stick by what I said. He needs to stop. If Lewis Hamilton wants to win his 8th world title, he needs to start knuckling down. Enough of the parties, enough of the outings, enough of all the fashion shows. He needs to start knuckling down. He needs to, because if he doesn't knuckle down, he's not going to get his 8th world title. I don't care what anybody says. Look, then, I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I'm a racing fan. But there's some Lewis Hamilton fans won't call him out. They would drink the Kool-Aid of Lewis Hamilton. It doesn't matter if he's right, wrong, whatever. Whatever he does, they'll still support Lewis Hamilton. I will support Lewis Hamilton, but when he does something wrong, I will call him out. And I'm calling him out now. If he wants to win his 8th world title, he needs to start knuckling down, live, breathe, shit, 8th world title. Not going out on some random parties. And look, I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. It's good what he's doing, but he needs to wait and win his 8th world title first. He needs to win the 8th. Listen, to me, the race wins is the most important. Race wins to the most drivers, pundits, real guys who've won titles with race cars, not idiots on Twitter, but to the experts, the most is the race wins. I get it, that's the most important, race wins. But if he wants to win his 8th world title, which is so close, this might be his last season to do it, because we don't know what's going to happen next year. Mercedes are coming out and say, yeah, we're putting all our efforts into next year's car, but we don't know how the other teams are going to be. Before we know it, Ferrari might come out and start winning everything. We don't know. We do not know. So this might be Lewis Hamilton's last chance to win the title. We don't know. He's got a 2-year contract. You might think after 2 years it's going to bring him to 38 years of age. He's going to be nearly 39 after the end of that 2-year contract. He might want to walk away. He might want to think, you know, that's it. I'm nearly 39 years of age. I've been there, done it. I've got my 7th world title. He might lose his motivation to win his 8th world title. So you want to do it now. That's all I'm saying. The results are in. We know that Lewis Hamilton has won this race in a wet race, which I'm going to go through in a minute. So, lights out and away we go. Lando Norris gets away. Absolutely amazing. Lando Norris, he was perfect in qualifying, and he was perfect at the beginning of this race. He had an amazing start. Lando Norris, amazing. He gets away good. Carlos, what a takeover in that first corner. Carlos Sainz locked his tyres up. At one time, I thought Carlos Sainz was going to hit the barrier, but he didn't hit the barrier. Carlos Sainz came through, late braked, took Lando Norris, went straight into first place. He locked up his tyres a bit. I'm not sure if there was damage to his tyres, but he carried on for another lap or so. He was in front. He passed Lando Norris in the first corner. Absolutely amazing. Amazing by Carlos Sainz. Amazing. Alonso was amazing. He passed Hamilton in the first lap. Hamilton didn't get the best of start. You could see Hamilton when he was driving, he was cautious, which is understandable. Hamilton knows if he stops, if he gets clipped in any way and he ends up in the barrier, his championship is over. He knows this. At the end of the day, Alonso, my favourite driver on the grid, Alonso, he's not fighting for the championship. He's not fighting for the championship. If Alonso was fighting for the championship, yeah, if he was fighting for the world title and he was in Hamilton's position, I'm sure he'll be a bit cautious as well. Hamilton, you could see, was playing the safe route. Alonso passed him. It wasn't in front for long, but he did pass him in the second sector. Ricciardo had a good battle with Alonso, which probably lasted about 20 seconds. But again, Ricciardo with the faster car, he's in the McLaren, he's motivated at the moment. He's coming off a good win in at Monza, so he's very confident. So he passes Alonso out. Nothing really Alonso could do. At the end of the day, you only can do as much as what you can. Alonso, to me, he had an amazing race, but by this time, it was just people. You could see the way it was. They were just feeling each other out. They were just feeling each other out at the end of the day. So Alonso passed Hamilton, and then Ricciardo passed Alonso, and then Hamilton made up and passed Alonso just after. So take it how you want it, man. And what stood out for me, as you know I'm not a big fan of this fucking idiot, Di Resta. Paul Di Resta constantly coming down on Hamilton. Everyone who passed Hamilton in that race, he was saying, look, Hamilton's losing it. Hamilton's out of position. That's all he could fucking say. This geezer has never won an F1 race in his life. He's never been on a podium. He's never achieved nothing. He has never done anything in Formula 1. And who the fuck is he to come out and cast dispersion on Hamilton? Cast badness on Hamilton? He's always running Hamilton down. And who the fuck is he to judge? The guy's never won a race in his life and never been on the podium. Poor Di Resta. Poor Wankstein Di Resta. Who is he to judge? He can't judge nothing. I don't know why he's commentating. Why has Sky Sport got this idiot geek, yeah, as a fucking commentator? Why don't they get somebody else to do commentary? Why? I'm sure why aren't you paying Rosberg more money to do more commentary? I'd rather get Rosberg. At least Rosberg has won a race and he's won a championship as well. I don't mind Martin Brundle. I ain't got nothing against Martin Brundle because Martin Brundle is a straight shooter. There's some people out there that don't like Martin Brundle. I don't really care about them people. I like him. I like Martin Brundle because he says it how it is. I like Little Johnny as well. I like the Channel 4 commentary, David Coulthard. But I just do not like this geezer, Paul Di Resta. I just do not like him. He's got this an agenda against Hamilton. We all know why he's got the agenda against Hamilton. It goes back to his history with Paul Di Resta, and it goes back to Hamilton's dad, and when Hamilton's dad was his manager. And this is why he doesn't like Hamilton. He always wants to stick it to Hamilton. You are a broadcast journalist. You are a broadcast journalist. You are supposed to be. You're not supposed to take either side. You're supposed to look at it and give your opinion, but you're not supposed to give. You're not supposed to say, oh, I love Red Bull, I love Red Bull, I love Red Bull, I love Red Bull. You're a broadcast journalist. You're a professional. You're supposed to be a professional. You're a professional geek, but you're not a professional journalist. It's always about Red Bull. Anybody what beats Mercedes, he likes them. But what it boils down to, it's all about Red Bull. And this is why this guy shouldn't be employed by Sky. I don't know why he's there. He's not achieved nothing in his life. Why haven't they got Mansell on there? Mansell, world champion, F1 legend from Great Britain. Why is he not doing commentary? And we got Paul Di Resta doing commentary instead. This guy has never won nothing in his career. Now, there's one thing I'll say about Aston Martin. They haven't had the best luck. They haven't. But one thing I'll say about Aston Martin, they were always the first to come out and try something new. When they heard that the rain was coming, they said on lap 5, when they knew the rain was coming, they said on lap 5 to Lance Stroll, the rain is reducing. Because before the race start, everybody was saying it was going to be rain. It's going to be rain, rain, rain. But they come out and said to Lance Stroll on lap 5, you know what, there's no rain coming, it's reducing. So most likely it's not going to be rain. Lap 13, first one to pit with Aston Martin. They pitted Lance Stroll, put the hard tyres on, and that was it. They were the first to try everything, so they were the first person to come out and talk about the rain, about the weather, if it's reducing, and they were the first persons to pit. Aston Martin today was on it at the beginning. They was on it, so I respected Aston Martin for that, for the pit. They got a good pit team. They got a good strategy team, Aston Martin, and I think when they get that engine right in 2022, if they get that engine right, they're going to be a force to reckon with, and people are going to be looking at Aston Martin. They may not be looking at them now because they think, oh, they're a new team. They're kind of a new team because they used to be force-ended before, but they're expanding, and they're going to expand the factory, and they're employing good people at that place, and eventually they're going to be up there racing for positioning. They ain't going to be at the back, put it that way. So, again, Paul di Resta comes out, he's constantly going on against Mercedes. He says, bad news for Mercedes, bad news that they should have picked then, bad news that the strategy's going wrong, bad news this, bad news that. That's all he was saying. That's all Paul di Resta was saying about Mercedes. Complete and utter bullshit. Forget about him. McLaren pits lap 23. Ricciardo comes in. This is when it was kind of swaying in Mercedes' way. Because at the end of the day, right, Ricciardo was in front of Lewis Hamilton. Ricciardo pitted first at lap 23. Came into the pits. There was a delay of 10 seconds. It all started because basically I think McLaren thought that Mercedes was going to pit. And because Ricciardo was in front, Mercedes thought, yeah, let's pit now, let's pit because Ricciardo's in front. They double bluffed McLaren. McLaren came into the pits. Mercedes never came into the pits. And when Ricciardo came into the pits on lap 23, there was a delay of 10 seconds. So that went straight into Mercedes' way. That went right back to Mercedes. So the strategy was perfect. If Ricciardo would have came into the pits and they would have had a good pit, say about 2.53 seconds, I think Ricciardo would have stayed in front. But what happened is they came into the pits, they got double bluffed by Mercedes, and it was in the pits for 10 seconds. So that was advantage Mercedes. Now, Sainz was on the radio. He was saying to his team, I think we picked too early. And the pit team was saying, nah, I think we've done okay. But Sainz said, look, we pitted too early. P5. Basically, Sainz come on the radio and he was saying to his team, I think we pitted too early. He was thinking that we could have stayed out a little bit longer. And the reason why he said that is because Ferrari said we're looking at a P5 finish. And I think Sainz was a bit pissed off because I think Sainz at this time, because he was in front at the beginning of the Grand Prix, he was probably thinking to himself, I think there's a potential podium. So when his team said to them a P5, he wasn't happy, he was pissed off. Understandable. Lap 27, Hamilton pits. And in 9th, and because lap 27, Hamilton pits, and because of that bad pit stop by Ricciardo, when Hamilton came out, he came out in front of Ricciardo. So that, like I said, that was 1-0 to Mercedes. That it worked. Finally, the pit team and the strategy team got it right. Because let's face it, the majority of this season, McLaren, let's face it, the majority of this season, the Mercedes pit team and strategy team has been in the toilet. But they got it right this weekend. So lap 48, rain was coming down. This is when it was all getting interesting. The team come out on the radio and they said to Lando Norris, what do you think? What do you think? You think you should stay out? Because there was potential rain coming. The few drops was coming down on the track. And the team said to Lando Norris, what do you think? No. This is what you should have said is what Mercedes said to Lewis. Lando Norris, come in. You come in now for some intermediate tyres. But they never. They asked his opinion and said, what do you think? And Lando says, no, I'm staying out. That was the mistake they made. If Lando Norris would have pitted when the team said to them, what do you think? What the team should have said is, Lando, come in now, intermediate tyres. And if Lando would have argued, he said, no, Lando, come in now, intermediate tyres. Lando was in front. And if Lando would have stayed, if Lando would have came into the pits and put the intermediate tyres on, he would have won the race. Very simple. Would have won the race. Mercedes got it perfect. They said to Lewis Hamilton, there's going to be a rain, you need to come in. And Lewis Hamilton said, you sure? And then Bono said, yeah, sure, come in. But Lando opted to stay out. He opted to stay out, and that was the mistake he done. He stayed out. I understand. Look, he's relatively new to F1. He's been in there a couple of years. Lewis Hamilton's got years and years experience. We know this. But when your team says to you that there's rain coming and you need to get ready to the intermediate tyres, you come in. It's different if you've got tyres on and the team says come in and pick for medium tyres, and then you can turn around and say to your team, look, my tyres are still good, I want to stay out. That's different. That's different. This is where the driver is in charge. But when you see the clouds going black and you start seeing raindrops on the floor, you don't turn around to your team, you don't turn around to your driver and you say to your driver, listen, what do you think, Lando? No, you turn around and say, get the fuck in the pits and put the intermediate tyres on. That's what you say. And that was McLaren's fault. Their fault. Their fault. They should have said to Lando Norris, come in now. Put the intermediate. It was on the weather radar. It was on the weather radar for everybody to see on national television. Rain coming. The rain was right there. Parts of the track, it was coming down. You saw the rain coming down, and they still didn't tell him to come in. That was McLaren's fault. Now, lap 50 Mercedes. At lap 50, now it was lap 40, yeah, as soon as after that, yeah, as soon as that happened, Lewis pitted, put his intermediate tyres, I think it was about like 15 seconds away from Lando. You knew he was always going to catch Lando because Lando, he didn't pit. He was sliding everywhere. Lap 51, Bono come out and says to Lewis on the radio, Norris is sliding everywhere, you'll catch him soon. Norris was 14 seconds ahead. As soon as he got to one side of the, as soon as he got to the first sector, he was 14 seconds ahead. When he got to the next one, which was just around the corner, he lost 4 or 5 seconds. So he was struggling on them tyres, and he still stayed out. And it took Lewis Hamilton passing him, and for Lando Norris sliding off the track, nearly damaging his car, for him to say, you know what, I'm going to pit now, I'm going to put the 4 wets on. But if he would have came in like his team should have told him, because his team, instead of saying, what you think, Lando, when you see rain coming down on the track and you see Lando started to slide, and then you turn around and say to him, what do you think, Lando? That was a mistake for Mercedes. No, that was a mistake for McLaren. That was a mistake for McLaren. They should have said, Lando, come in. And if it would have came in, eventually Lewis would have came in, and he would have been in front, and he would have won the race easy. Very simple. And this point, Alonso was 4th place. I think Max Verstappen was in 6th place. And when it started to come down hard, Alonso ordered Max to come into the pits. And because Max Verstappen pitted previously, similar time to Lewis Hamilton, he had the intermediate time. So Max Verstappen went from 6th place to 2nd. So more luck for Max Verstappen. You got the luck in Spa. You got the luck in Monza. You got the luck now. You're getting a lot of luck, ain't you? But that's racing. But if that was Lewis Hamilton, you'd see all the haters. If that was Lewis Hamilton getting all this luck, they'd turn around and say, Lewis is only winning because he got the luck. If it weren't for the rain, it weren't for this, it weren't for this in Spa, and it weren't for this in Monza, he wouldn't be winning. That's the reason why he's winning. But because Max is getting the luck, and because Max is getting all this, as we say in England, the rub of the green. Yeah, that's a thingy, by the way. That's a cricket term for you guys who know about cricket. And because Max is getting all this good luck, you'll see all the Red Bull fans mute on Twitter, mute. But if it was Lewis Hamilton, you'd be coming down on him and saying he only won that race because of that. He only won that race because of that. He only come 2nd because of that. Because it's Max Verstappen, mute. The fake ass virgin Red Bull geeks. So Lewis Hamilton passes Lando Norris. Lando Norris tried to come into the pits and pit. It was too late then. He spun off a bit. He cut the corner, so he's going to get a penalty for that. Came into the pits and his race was over. His race is over. Lewis Hamilton got his 100th win, which he thoroughly deserved. So we've got the final results. Sainz in 3rd place. Max Verstappen in 2nd place. And we've got the GOAT, Lewis Hamilton. The GOAT, Lewis Hamilton. 100 wins. 100 wins. Formula 1. Winner of the Russian Grand Prix. They've won it since Russian. I think there was 2 Russian Grand Prix, I think in the 30s, and Mercedes won them 2. And since 2014, in the open era, the hybrid era, they've won every single Russian Grand Prix. What an achievement by Mercedes. What an achievement. And Lewis Hamilton deserves it. He works hard, just like everybody else. But he works hard, he digs deep. He knows people was running him down online or in real life, or he don't give a shit. All I ask for is that he knuckles down and he starts digging deep more, because Max Verstappen, Christian Horner, Red Bull, they will try every dirty tactic in the book to try and dethrone Lewis Hamilton for his 8th world title. You got Christian Horner coming out in the news today saying, I think Hamilton's going to take an engine penalty. And then you got the geeks reporting it online saying, will Hamilton take an engine penalty? Will Hamilton do this? Christian Horner put that little rumour out there. He thinks maybe they might take an engine penalty, and the stupid geek reporters are coming out and reporting it. There's no fact in it. It's just Christian Horner come out, because Christian Horner say something on Twitter or say something in the news, and then, like I said, the geek reporters are going to report it. All part of the mind games to try and dethrone Lewis Hamilton. But it ain't going to work. So, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. I hope you win it. I think you're going to win it. And good luck for the next race. So this is Solo P1 signing out at the F1 Russian Grand Prix 2021 race day review. See you later, guys. Bye.